Hello and welcome to Conference Championship Week 2023. And this is the official last week. I decided to do the Conference Championship. Had a great last 3 weeks. Oh, wait, hold on one second. Sorry about that, guys. I remember what I was going to put in my notes at the very end. It's something really cool I don't think I've ever accomplished, or it's been a while since I accomplished it. But last week we went 3 wins, 1 loss, and 1 tie. And we would have won that game or that point spread if Michigan would have just, received that first down. And instead, Ohio State blocks them on their third drive, didn't let them get the first down. And so Michigan kicks a field goal. If they would have got that first down, they would have just took a knee, and then we would have won that Michigan point spread, with Ohio State plus 3.5, but it didn't happen. So right now we are 43 wins, 28 losses, and 2 ties, because we had this tie that was from the Ole Miss Mississippi game on Thanksgiving. And what is interesting about that is that was a tie, it was a push. Well, the sports betting app that I use voided that game afterwards, so they gave me back the money anyway, which was kind of crazy. I noticed that because I've been winning a lot more in the past few weeks, that the sports betting app I'm using is starting to void out some of my wins, saying that I'm not in region, or I'm not betting properly, or doing something, anything to find an excuse to void out a win. And that hasn't been enough to be concerning about it yet, but it's starting to get a little aggravating, and I might be switching sports books pretty soon. But let's go on to Week 13 notes. Max Johnson moves on. All right, guys, why are you saying who cares? Who in the hell is Max Johnson? Well, Max Johnson is the son of Brad Johnson, the quarterback that won the Super Bowl back in 2003 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. His son is a curse, and I do not like Max Johnson. In fact, I would rather invite Jimmy Boy over for dinner than have Max Johnson for dinner. I mean, I can't stand that kid, and I'm a pretty likable person. I mean, I like everybody, or just I have my dislikes, but Max Johnson. All right, let me explain to you why I do not like Max Johnson and the voodoo curse that he has on him. Max Johnson went to LSU. He played for 2 seasons after Joe Burrow, or he was there for 2 seasons. He was one year behind Joe Burrow, sitting on the bench while Joe Burrow went on to win the national championship. Unfortunately, Max Johnson has a championship ring from LSU. He should go and pawn it or donate it to the school. He played the next year in 2020, the COVID year. He stunk so bad that it cost him Ed Orgeron's job. That's what I'm blaming it on. I know Ed Orgeron did it himself, and it's not just because of Max Johnson. But Ed Orgeron was fired while he was the quarterback. Okay, so now we fast forward it. He goes to Texas A&M because he immediately hit the transfer portal. He's like, all right, Ed Orgeron's gone. I'm out of here. And I'm taking my 5-star recruit tight end brother with me. And we're going to Texas A&M. And we're going to be playing here. And we're going to be beating LSU every year. We're going to win all these games. We're going to go to the national championship. I'm going to be the first quarterback to take Texas A&M to the national championship and everything else. Fast forward it to last weekend. Jimbo Fisher gets fired. Max Johnson wanted to play against LSU to prove that he is the better quarterback than Jaden Daniels and everything else. And he breaks his hand and he can't play. Well, Jimbo Fisher gets fired. What does Max Johnson do? He ups and leaves again. He hits the transfer portal immediately, and guess what? He takes his brother, and now they go over to North Carolina. So, Mac Brown, if I was you, I'd be very careful. I'd be very worried about your job, because he's already killed 2 very good head coaches already. That voodoo curse is real against him. So he already got rid of Ed Orgeron and LSU, and he already got rid of Jimbo Fisher. So Mac Brown, either you're going to retire or you're going to get fired by the time Max Johnson leaves. That's my running bet on that. And it's never a good thing when you have a quarterback that hops around and head coaches are getting fired because of the way you play and the way you are helping a team or not helping a team. So, yeah, it doesn't look good for Max Johnson, and I don't think he's going to do anything in the NFL. He's going to be working at Chick-fil-A or something after his college football years. I know he's not welcome back on the LSU campus. I can tell you that now, and I guarantee he's probably not welcome back after on the Texas A&M campus. All right, so tonight, guys, we have a rematch of the Pac-12 game that happened on October 14th. Oregon and Washington. I think they're playing in Las Vegas for that game. Really looking forward to seeing that rematch. Oregon has, like I've been saying, Oregon has been trending up. Oregon has been has really proven that one loss against Washington is a really good thing. Washington, I think, is ranked number 3 now. Hard to believe. I think that's an overreach. But I think they're ranked number 3 on the CFP polls. I'm looking for Oregon to come out and really take care of business and hammer the hell out of Washington. They've been having this game circled. They've been waiting for this rematch. Really looking forward to seeing this Oregon game tonight. So, guys, if you're watching this today, I'm sorry I did not get this video out sooner. I had a lot of things going on, dealing with a lot of things. So I'm getting this out as soon as possible. So look forward to that rematch tonight. I really like Oregon as my dark horse. I went ahead and I locked them in. I still have Michigan, as my favorite to win it all, but I really like Oregon to be the dark horse in the college football playoffs. And man, if they can get in, they're probably going to play Michigan. And I really like Oregon against Michigan. So that's going to be really interesting. The two teams I'm going to pick, if Oregon does get in as a number 4 seed or hopefully the number 3 seed, so that way Michigan and Oregon don't knock each other out, because those are the two who I'm picking to win it all this year. It'd be really interesting to see how it all shakes and settles out on Sunday. And like I said, Michigan's on track to win it all. They played a great game without Jimmy Boy being the head coach against Ohio State. What's going to happen to Ryan Day? There's all sorts of rumors that that Ohio State might move on from him, which is hard to believe. I mean, Ryan Day has been as consistent can be as far as winning. I mean, he's only had 5 losses in 4 or 5 years, 3 years, something like that. And he just can't win the big games. It's his biggest thing. And it's hard to win those big games. But when you are a head coach, what separates you from an elite head coach to an extraordinary head coach is winning those big games. And that's the biggest mark against Brian Kelly, is that he can't win, those big games yet. He hasn't proven that he can beat, those big games. He beat Alabama last year in LSU, I understand that. But even going back into his Notre Dame games, when he was, number 4, number 5 in the country with Notre Dame, he couldn't get to that elite status. He couldn't close and beat those really good high-ranking teams. So that's what he needs to do for Brian Kelly. For Michigan, Jimmy Boy's coming back in. He's going to. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens to the NCAA, what they do, if they do win it all. The bowl games, how it all plays out. A lot of looming things going on, but Michigan is on track to win it all, and I'm really looking forward to seeing Michigan and Georgia go at it, or Oregon and Georgia go at it. All right. Let's see, going over. September 2021 was the last month I lost. Hard to believe, guys. I mean, if you think about that, that's 8 months of winning. That is pretty amazing, because as you can see here, we won all 3 months in 22. We won all 3 months in 23. The last time I lost was September of 2021, which is absolutely amazing. In the past 3 weeks, I've won 18 games, 2 losses, and 1 tie. Now think about that. If you guys are with me and you guys are betting with me, and listening to my picks, you would have made some serious cash like I have in the past 3 weeks. 18 wins and 2 losses. You can't get any better than that. I mean, that's a hell of a run by any stretch of the imagination, whether you're playing craps, baccarat, roulette, blackjack, anything in a casino. And 18 to 2 is phenomenal, And I mean, you can see it. I mean, 3 wins, right here, and I mean, we've done really, really well. So let's go on and get into the games. All right, tonight, this is very important. This is tonight's game, and I'm going to be at the bar drinking some great beer, watching this game. Oregon is -9. They're versus Washington. We broke this game down already, so I'm really not going to break it down anymore. It's tonight at 7 p.m. I'm really liking Oregon. -9 might seem a little bit. Washington is struggling against teams of lately, and Oregon, like I said, has been playing great. But we've been having a method, and our method has been winning for us, and it seems to be helping out the Ducks. So what we're going to do, guys, and if you've been following me for the past 2 months, you know exactly what I'm getting ready to say right now. Oregon, money line. Let's take it. Let's lock it in. Let's watch a great game tonight. Drink plenty of beer. Have a great time with the family or your friends, and let's lock it in. Because as we know, Oregon money line, it's still paying below 600. And whenever I say if we can get odds below 600, there is no reason why we should not pick an Oregon money line. I know it doesn't pay as much as if we were to take the points, but it still gives us a very good fighting chance. And right now, last time I locked this in, I think it was -300, which is perfect. That is what I like. All right, let's move on. Oklahoma State at Texas. This is going to be a really good game. Looking forward to watching this game. Oklahoma State was struggling. I can't remember. Were they playing BYU or something? I can't remember who they were playing last week, but they were struggling quite a bit. Texas is trending up. Texas needs to win this game. They need to win this game in a very dominant fashion. I mean, they really just need to go in there and just win this game 100-0. The reason why is because they have a slight 10% chance of them winning or going to the college football playoffs. Alabama's got to lose. Oregon's got to lose. It's all sorts of scenarios. Washington's got to lose. It's all sorts of different scenarios. But they have a 10% chance of getting into the college football playoffs. Steve Sarkisian, the head coach of Texas, really has his team trending in the upward direction. And even if they don't get in to the CFPs this year, they are still going to be playing for a New Year's Six bowl game. So there is still a lot at stake for all these teams to still be playing really great bowls. So look for Texas to come in here, play a really great game, and to beat Oklahoma State. I'm trying to see, what do I have? Okay. And I think -15.5 is a little too much because Oklahoma State, you never know what you're going to get. It's a little bit of a wild horse. But for us to guarantee to win, we're going to go ahead and take Texas money line on this. And this is -500 for that money line. So it's right in where I want to be. I think -15.5 is a little too much. If you wanted to, you can take Oklahoma State plus 15.5. But the way Texas has been playing, I think this is going to be more favorable for Texas. So let's just lock it in, Texas money line, and go from there. Because with the point spread being like that, it's going to be a little bit too close at the end. So it's just easier just to take that Texas money line. Okay, so this is important. This is the first game at 7 p.m. There's another game at 7 p.m. So this is the first one. So you're going to need 2 TVs to watch. The next game coming up that I'm going to mention at 7 p.m. But this one is the first one. This is Louisville at Florida State, -2.5 at 7 p.m. Florida State is really struggling without Travis as the quarterback. Their offense is just stuck in neutral, and they're ranked number 4. And man, it just really goes to show you how much a quarterback really makes or breaks the team, really. I mean, he is the it factor, really. And, without Travis as quarterback, they struggled against Florida. I know Florida played their A game and everything else. And if it wasn't for that last-minute touchdown from the running back, breaking all those tackles. We would have lost that game too, taking those points. But Florida State minus 2.5 the way Louisville is playing right now. They're playing great. They're going to come in ready to play this game in a dominant fashion. And for my upset pick, I'm taking Louisville plus 2.5, and I'm actually going to buy up that point when I take it, and I'm actually going to take it to Louisville plus 3. So that's what I'm going to do at 7 p.m. So let's lock it in. And it really comes down to when it's under 3, it comes down to a pick 'em, really. Who do you like to win this game? And for me, I like Louisville to win this game. I really do. I think that they're going to play a really great game. Florida State's just struggling. I think this is where you're going to really watch this team fall out of that top 4 ranking. All right, next up, and you can see here, this is the other 7 p.m. game. That's the reason why I said this is the second one you need 2 TVs. So Georgia versus Bama. This is at the Atlanta Mercedes-Benz Dome. So it's pretty much, they're playing in Georgia, just not at the University of Georgia. And they just renewed their contract. So the SEC championship is still going to be played there till 2031, which is pretty amazing. I know the Superdome in New Orleans was putting up a pretty big bid, but they just couldn't meet the dollar for dollar amount. And I'm kind of glad that it's staying in Georgia. It's been there for a long time. And it would have been kind of cool to see the New Orleans Superdome get it, because that's where the sports betting is. That's where everything is as far as gambling goes. So it would have been cool to be in Louisiana. But hey, look, keeping tradition alive, that's really cool that it's staying there. So moving on, Georgia is minus 5.5 versus Bama. How about that Auburn game last week? 30-yard line, Jalen Milrose throws a Hail Mary. He catches it on his fingertips, and Alabama wins that game. And I had that as my parlay to Bama to win that game. And when it was the 4th down and it was like 4 and 30, and I was like, yeah, I lost that parlay. That's pretty much over. And then all of a sudden, I get up, and I'm about ready to walk away from the TV, and then all of a sudden I hear he caught the ball, and I had to run back and rewind that part and see that play. I couldn't believe it. And if you guys watch the SEC shorts, there's a very funny segment about that play. So it's really funny. If you guys ever watch SEC shorts, watch the one about the Auburn-Alabama game, and it makes fun of it's like the miracle department, and they're like, all right, just give it to him already, I mean, it's great. You have to watch it. Georgia minus 5.5. Georgia is really trending up. Alabama's going to get in this game. It's really going to depend on where Alabama is and where Georgia is going into the second half of the game, the third and fourth quarter. I really like Georgia in this. I think they're going to win. I know Alabama, when they come to a championship game, their team plays different, and you got to give it to Nick Saban. Everybody was writing his team off in September, saying the dynasty was over. Nick Saban should retire. He's over the hill. Blah, 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 blah. Well, Nick Saban is playing for a conference championship again. How really cool. And this is the last time we're going to see an SEC East and an SEC West team play. Next year, there's not going to be an East and a West. It's going to be the best 2 teams like it is in the Pac-12. But for the last game, I really look for Georgia to come out swinging. This is going to be a very good game at 3 p.m. tomorrow. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lock it in. I'm going to take Georgia minus 5.5. I really like Georgia in this. So let's go ahead and take Georgia. Okay, so we got that one all locked in. Next up is Michigan minus 22.5 against Iowa. Ouch. This is a championship game. It's not supposed to have a point spread. Like, Michigan is going up against, like, I don't know, Rutgers, Maryland. Good Lord, Syracuse. This is a championship game. We're supposed to be seeing point spreads of like minus 5.5 or 2.5 or something, not minus 22.5. Oh my goodness. I think this is an overreach. I don't know. Did the Las Vegas odd makers really put this in? Was this supposed to be minus 2.5? I know Iowa's struggling, but man, guys, there's really not much to break down for this game. and I know I'm over on my time. So we're just going to make this really quick and simple. And you're going to laugh at this. You can take Iowa if you want to, going with plus 22.5, but I'm just going to keep it really simple. We're not going to break this down. Jimmy Boy's coming in. He's going to look for fire and brimstone. J.J. McCarthy, the quarterback for Michigan State, and, look for him to keep on winning. Like I said, I expect Michigan just to steamroll, this team. But just to be on the safe side, my golden rule is you don't take Michigan anything over 20 points, because that's when you get into trouble. So, with that being said, I'm stepping out of my league. I'm going against my rule. And you know what my rule is? When you take a money line, you want to be below 600. Well, this one is minus 2,500. But guess what? No Sevens is taking the money line on Michigan and doing minus 2,500. So if you bet, like, say, $10 on this game, you're probably going to make $11.25. You're making $1.25 profit. But Michigan is going to win this game, because if they don't, then everything is over. So look for them to win this game. Look for them to winning in dominant fashion. And guys, if you want to take that point spread, go right ahead. But I'm breaking my own rule. I'm taking Michigan money line minus 2,500 on the point spread. So on the money line spread. So yep, that's what old no sevens is doing. So let's go ahead and lock that in. So that'll probably be the first and last time you ever see me do that, is take a minus 2,500 on the money line, because my rule of thumb is I don't take money lines unless they're below 600, minus 600. So that way we can at least make a little bit of money. The only reason why I would take money lines like this is if I was doing parlays. I normally don't pick them like this here, because I'm not that kind of person. I like to be competitive. I like to earn my wins and everything else. So this is normally a parlay, so you can look at it like that. All right, speaking of parlays, let's get into the first parlay. So we have the first parlay. This is Oregon money line, Texas money line, Georgia minus 5.5, Louisville plus 2.5, and Michigan. So yes, guys, this is all the teams that we picked to win this week. So that's the one we're going with for the first one. And then the second one, we're going to fade some. So the second one, we're going to go with Oregon, Texas, Louisville plus 2.5, and Michigan. And then there's a third one I did, but I didn't put it on here. I did Oregon, Texas, and Michigan, all money line parlays. It doesn't pay out much, so that's the reason why I didn't put it on there. And then, of course, we'll do a recap. Oregon money line, Texas money line, Louisville plus 2.5, Georgia minus 5.5, Michigan money line. And guys, that is it. We're going to go back next week. We're going to do a review of how we did. But that is it, man. We are done with college football. We're going to be getting back into craps. I got a ton of craps videos coming for you. I got a personal video I want to do for you. I got a casino update for you coming out in the next week or two. So there's still a lot more great videos coming out. And just be safe out there. I hope I made you guys a ton of money this year. Just comment below if there's anybody you like or don't like. And I look forward to seeing you guys in 2024. And next week will be our follow-up for the season and where we're going into the future with different things, and be a short video. But guys, I really appreciate the journey with you, or coming along with me, or whatever you want to say. For the past couple of months, I hope I made you guys a lot of cash, especially the past 3 weeks. That is very impressive. 18 wins and 2 losses and 1 tie. So guys, take care. All the luck in the world. And real quick, before, if you guys are still with me, go check out my friend's channel, Cooking with Cleavage. She's got a Patreon account that's really, really, really awesome. Highly recommend that Patreon. I finally subscribed to her Patreon, and it's really awesome. But definitely go check out her Cooking with Cleavage. She's got some great holiday videos coming out, and man, they look amazing. Especially that key lime pie that she made. looked really good. So just throwing a shout out to her. Other than that, guys, good luck this week, and I will talk to you next week for the 2023 recap of the season.